recording.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Okay. So,
should we just go through each bullet point and see what we all had, and then kind of... Well, for some of mine, I kind of typed in like paragraphs so I could copy and paste it, but some of them I didn't really write in paragraphs.
right, I did the same thing.
Yeah.
And my summary is a little long. Do you want us to all just post our summary in there?
I was trying to get well, it said like each bullet point should be 100 to 200 words, but I could not get my summary that short.
I know.
Right.
I think we'll be fine if someone just wants to post their one summary.
I can post my summary, and then maybe we can edit it down a little bit.
Okay, there you go. Let's do that.
I don't think
so
we're
we
going to
have a starting point.
Yeah, and I don't think we're going to get points marked off just because our summary is over by a little. It's a summary, so I'm not sure she's even going to actually
get that's like way long. Sorry, it's longer than I thought it was.
All right. So do we want to just start with the bullet points and get this done?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I summarize mine, mine's a little bit shorter, and it's mostly just kind of like, I guess it almost follows the ABCX, you know, that first A, like the actual events. That's kind of what more of my summary is.
Okay.
So.
Do you want to post yours too, and we can decide which one we want to use?
I love that ABCX model. I think that is fantastic. It's so simple and it's very good.
Yeah.
Okay, so should we go on to the next one while you're doing that?
Yeah.
List any principles or concepts from the course that can be applied in offering help or direction for this family. So I'll go ahead and start if that's okay.
Yep.
With the ball rolling. I put mindfulness and understanding and living in the moment could have really helped Jeanette and Peter from the very beginning when they lost their first baby. It seems to me like they had it in the beginning of their relationship as Peter really wanted to adopt Jeanette's baby, but then they needed to deal with the tragedies on a personal level as well as a couple and then as a family, and they never really did that. So I thought if they had mindfulness and kind of lived in that moment a little more, they would have been able to deal with all of the issues. Instead, they just kind of suppressed everything.
Very, very good. I also went into mindfulness skills. I appreciated this week in our study because I also thought about how Jeanette and Peter also came from a family of origin where they already had issues that they were dealing with.
Right.
And through reading the case study, I felt that they were both very feeling and sensitive individuals, and it just carried through.
I had kind of a similar thing. We haven't talked about the family life cycle in this class, have we? That's just a different class. Okay.
I don't think so.
So I kind of thought about the model Hill's truncated roller coaster, how some families experience multiple bounces before they rebound. So I think since this family experienced multiple tragedies, it was more difficult for them to return back to that higher level of functioning.
Right.
So it's
That's great.
The same idea, but a different concept.
Very good.
Okay, so do you want...
I don't know.
Like
I
an
have like a
actual-
short... Should we just like copy our ideas into there and we can edit them if we need to?
Yeah.
I think all of those points were good.
Yeah, I do too.
Did anyone have any other ones besides that?
Mine was very similar to yours, Lori, but I just did like the communication part of it, where like the communication as a family suffered because of like their feelings, and so. Sorry, I'm trying to pull it up.
And I kind of put the communication thing under like the hidden emotion model, where they just kind of um, kind of went about their day, being nice, but no confrontation, just kind of doing their own thing.
I put the same thing.
Yeah, and then the avoidance model as well.
You know what was amazing to me about this story is that even with losing the second child, they still never talked about Philip until 2013.
Yeah.
I know.
Yes,
Wow.
that was surprising to me as well. And I was also thinking about how Peter and Jeanette both communicated differently. She was feeling alone and sad, and when she expressed that to Peter, what was his way of dealing with it? He just worked harder. His idea was, I need to be a better provider. So they were both on different planes as far as their communication, even through the little bit that they did have, huh?
You know, and I put that under, Peter had performance perfectionist. Perfectionism,
True.
is that what it is? Performance perfectionism?
Right, yeah.
So, okay, I'll go and post what I have, and then again, we can just kind of fix it if we need to.
Sorry, guys.
Okay. So for the hidden feelings and like the suppressed emotions, I did that under the second one for the relevant risks and dangers.
Okay.
That was like emotionally that's not healthy for them, and you know you can't heal from something like that if you don't talk about it and if you just kind of like keep it. And no one in the family was talking about anything, and it was coming out as aggression through the children, like towards each other, and then they'd have that like we're bad children, you know, like sentiment put over them, and that was not healthy either.
So do we know if the grandmother that died was her mother? I mean, it doesn't really specifically say that, but I was thinking.
They said it was his grandmother, right?
It was his mother.
Yeah.
So it was it was her husband's mom. Okay.
Was it his mom or his grandma?
I think it was his
grandma.
Oh, his grandmother. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just posted what I had in there. I also included, it was critical to have a spiritual outlet to rely on for them.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I included that as well.
Okay.
So does anybody else want to post anything in there?
I
I'm
think
just kind of cleaning my up just a little.
I think that's pretty good for the first one.
Oh, and I also did counsels. I said, oh my gosh, this family needed some counsels.
Right.
Yeah, I think some of these things, it's hard to figure out, well, for me, it's hard to figure out where to put it because there's a lot of different points, because I think what it says, like, recommended coping strategies, I also put, like, a family counsel could be helpful.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think that's probably something we could put later, too.
Okay. Okay, and on to the next one, list relevant risk, dangers the family has in its members to face.
I put, you know, they all kind of had a hard time picking up on each other's concerns and, you know, problems like we talked about earlier when Jeanette was feeling alone and overwhelmed. Her husband thought that working more would be a good benefit. So I feel like just not being able to understand and pick up on each other's cues was a big risk for the family.
Okay.
Especially if the same pattern, you know, if the same thing happens the second time.
Yeah.
Right.
Really, they had, I mean, with their older kids, I mean, it's kind of hard because we're talking about something that happened in 1975. And we know they talked about it finally just somebody in 2013. So it'd be interesting to know if, like, having the older kids helped them be able to heal from it, because the older kids would have known about, you know, Jerry, where they didn't know about Philip.
Right.
One thing that I touched on too was the aggression, that resultant aggression that came down through the children, where it talked about how the siblings didn't have a very healthy relationship. They were in verbal fights that turned into hitting and threats. That's definitely a result of the crisis and a danger for the family. And I thought it was really interesting to see how when the priesthood kind of entered in and they did have a family council, and they did come together united, that all turned around and they were able to get rid of the aggression. Things changed for their whole family. So that was definitely a danger and a risk.
Yeah,
Right.
okay, so I put that, right, and I put that one under opportunities. So I guess we just need to decide how we want to divide them. Do we want to put them under risks and dangers or opportunities?
I put that one under opportunities too.
Mhm. I think the danger would be the aggression. The opportunity was that they came together
Okay,
in a council and with the priesthood.
Separate it out.
okay, do you want to put that in there?
Sure.
Any other risks or dangers you guys came up with or opportunities?
Not that we haven't already talked about.
I think,
Okay, I thought one of the
Yeah.
opportunities was to serve his grandmother with the
yeah,
life
that's what I
support,
was
give
gonna say.
an opportunity to serve. I also put, I thought it was an opportunity that the older twin brother was, I mean, that took a lot of courage to stand up and give the eulogy.
Oh, right.
Especially the life.
As an 11-year-old?
Yeah, I thought that was a great opportunity for the family that that brother had that kind of spirit with him that he could actually do that and handle that.
Plus, it talked about how he felt supported by the 500 people there. You know what I mean?
Right.
And as an 11-year-old, that would be huge. Dealing with it.
I also think it kind of grew their perspective of eternal life, you know, with their brother passing, and he had that dream of talking to his brother, and his sister did too. So I think especially for the siblings, it kind of grew their, you know, testimony or perspective of the greater plan of life. So
Yeah. I wrote down that it kind of, well, with Jerry's death, that kind of caused an improvement in the relationships of all of the family members, because the siblings, it said they never fought after that, and it seemed like Peter and Jeanette had a better relationship afterwards too, because they kind of accepted that and came to peace with it and were able to move on.
Okay. Okay, so Emily, is that you? Who's writing?
That was Heidi.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Do you want me to
Sorry.
post what I have in there as
Yeah,
well?
that'd be great. Yep.
Yeah, I think anything we're sharing, we should just
Yeah, go
post
ahead
in
and-
there.
I just wasn't sure. Can we do it at the same time or not? I've never worked like this before, so.
You can do it at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yep.
Okay.
Anyone can add anything at the same time, and it'll be updated in like real time
Okay.
because
So
it's not
I
an
put-
attachment. So
I put those as opportunities. Did I put it in the right thing? Yeah.
No, you're right. I just didn't think that you had already put that.
Okay, and then did we get enough risk and dangers in there?
I'm getting mine ready to put in there.
I also put, I guess, another risk or danger that they had was that they were starting a bad cycle. Like Peter and Jeanette came from a bad cycle of, their parents weren't a very good role model, and they were becoming a poor role model for their children. So it started to kind of show a cycle,
yeah.
a bad cycle.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so let us know when you're ready to move on. Haley, are you just kind of cleaning that up?
Yeah, I was just organizing everything. When we're completely done with this, I can submit this. I'll go through and make sure
Okay.
that we're not like repeating ourselves and that everything
Perfect.
looks uniform.
I wasn't sure.
Thank
Is
you
it
for doing
supposed to
that.
be, like,
Yeah.
paragraph form, or can we do like bullet points? Do you know?
I don't know. I like it.
did mine.
I'm just not sure, because last time when I turned mine in, I did it like all in paragraphs, so maybe it's fine if we do bullets. I don't know.
I did it in both in my other one and got 100% on it. Some I had bullet points and
Okay.
some I had paragraphs. So I think we can do kind of whatever we choose.
Okay.
So
Okay,
Haley,
I'm
you
having
let
a
us know
problem.
We're ready to move
Sorry,
on.
I'm having a problem cutting mine and pasting it into there. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
It took a second for me. Like when I
Okay.
copy and paste.
Okay, so are you still trying to put something under the risk and dangers?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you see, if you go back to our Google Hangout page, do you see the chat part on the right side? You can like open up a chat.
Let me get into it just a second.
Oh, yep. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Okay, so if you just want to copy and paste it into there, then we can.
Copy and paste.
Great.
We'll just move it for you.
Oh, great. Where'd it go now? Okay, let me try to find it.
Okay, so while you do that, we want to move on to the relationship considerations?
Yeah, note important relationship considerations. So who would like to start there?
I had a point I was gonna share for that.
Okay.
I thought it was interesting that when Peter proposed, he said like he loves Jennifer, which is Jeanette's daughter, and so he said I want to be her father. I thought it was interesting that it seemed like maybe their marriage wasn't based on the fact that Peter and Jeanette loved each other. It was that they wanted to make that family relationship
Like a
stronger.
family.
I don't know. It was just kind of interesting to me. I think maybe that might have had an effect on their marital relationship.
And I'm sure that Jennifer, being the oldest daughter, had a different relationship with her parents than other siblings just because she was from a previous marriage. And, she was adopted. I think her relationship was probably different with her parents than some of the other siblings, but
Yeah. It doesn't talk a whole lot about her, did it? Because I don't.
It doesn't.
not
Okay.
really. But
It doesn't, but I thought the same thing, Danae. I wonder how she's handling all of that, and it had to be a different type of relationship.
right.
But as far as that proposal, I don't know why. I kind of took that as, oh, that's
I thought it
really
was cute.
sweet.
So did
Maybe
I.
okay, I guess I'm just the weird
So-
one. Well,
no,
I wasn't,
but that's a good take on it. I
I
mean,
wasn't sure either if that was like really relevant to the whole case in general or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
if that
I
was,
think in a way it was just because family was obviously important to him in the fact that he actually adopted her. So, you know what I mean? That's kind of huge.
The other relationships that I thought about were, of course, the siblings, the contention between the siblings, and then also their relationship with God was also, yeah, I mean, I worried about that. I'm like, I wonder how many kids are going to fall away from the church or be really angry with God as well.
Yeah.
And then the other point I put was their future relationships are also are
Going to
important to
be affected.
consider because they're in this bad cycle.
Mm-hmm. But it says
Well, it
that
sounds
even,
like they were able to talk about it. Sorry about that. They were at least the two siblings were able to talk about, the dreams that they had had. So my hope is that actually the family did discuss it, at least a little bit. You know what I mean? At least the kids did.
Yeah.
Whether mom and dad ever really talked about it. I mean, I honestly think to wait 53 years, right? 53 years to be able to talk about that newborn that died.
yeah.
Right.
Even after the death of a 6-year-old, I would have thought that would have reopened wounds and they could have healed from it at that point. But obviously that didn't happen. So
I
don't know.
thought it was wonderful that they allowed Jerry, who was, the older brother of Jerry. What was his name? Jerry's older brother.
Jeff.
Yeah, that's
The
all it
eulogy.
was.
Yeah, to do the eulogy at his funeral, and I'm sure that was hard, only being 11 years old. But in here it mentions that he was surprised to find that he experienced a great deal of support.
Right.
And I think that support that he gained I mean, I'm sure that his relationship with his brother that was quite similar in age, that would have been very hard to deal with being 11. So that was a very important relationship between the two of them, and that support was very needed.
I think also overall the parent and the child's relationships. I mean, after Jerry died, they all kind of transitioned into new
They
ways.
did.
So I think that's something to know is just all of their relationships changed after Jerry's death.
For the better. Yes, you're
Yeah.
right. You're right.
Okay, are we ready to go on?
Let's see.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so this is where I kind of repeated myself a lot, is recommended coping strategies.
Yeah, I think I had a lot of the things that I listed for like relevant principles and stuff. So I
Right.
didn't know what to put. So I kind of moved stuff around in my own thing so I would have enough stuff for each point. But
Yeah. That's what I did too.
I thought about like the mood logs, you know, being able to.
yeah, I put that.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. They need a whole bunch of them posted everywhere.
I also put cognitive behavioral therapy. I thought that it would be helpful for them to become more aware of their thoughts. So I think if they were able to work on making their thoughts more positive, they would be able to feel more optimistic in general.
Okay.
I think
also-
that, oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think that also for them understanding the family systems model might be benefit. They could understand how a family can cohesively work together and what
together.
works for them and what doesn't, So.
I agree.
Okay, did anyone post anything in there? Did anyone copy and paste theirs?
Yeah, I've been
Emily's
working on that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know why this is being...
Emily, do you want me to make it the
Sure,
bullet point?
Yeah.
Oh, good job.
Whoops.
One thing, and this might need to go back into opportunities, but I thought it was really great where it mentions that appreciation and affection were expressed more openly. Parents were more patient and more engaged with one another, and tensions eased between parents as they relied more upon one another. So that would definitely be an opportunity as well that I didn't see in there. So maybe I'll add that in.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Does everyone feel good about our recommended coping strategies part? Do we want to move on? Or do we want to add
Do you guys feel like are we adding enough? Are we giving the 100-word count at least?
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
The bullet point. I can't get it to tell me how many words we're using.
It seems like we might need to expand a little bit more on our points. I think if we do that, then we might have enough words. I'm not sure how many words we have, though. I'm not good at estimating, but I don't know how to tell.
It's 82 words.
Okay.
Okay.
So we probably, yeah.
Yeah, so we need,
And the one above it is going to need it too, because a few of those are even shorter.
yeah.
But a good foundation to start. Okay. So recommendation to supporting and involved parties.
Well, I put the bishop really needs, I think it was kind of the bishop that kick-started maybe the family getting together and leading the family in prayer and that discussion over if they should take Jerry off of life support. So I felt that it was important for him to have a close relationship with the family and continual counseling.
Right.
You know, if he could.
Yeah.
I think the family council is key. That would help them stay together. You know, at this point, they're engaged. They're relying more on each other. Their appreciation and affection have grown. So they just need to carry that on, and I think family councils is important to them.
And then I also mentioned the community in there. They had so much help from their community for the funeral.
Yeah, I put that too. I thought that was really important.
Yeah.
And then also her mom. It seemed like her mom had helped her early on.
Right. That's what I put down. And that's why I was worried that it was actually her mother that died. Oh, crap.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah. That would have been another big part of that truncated roller coaster.
Right. Okay, I've got to go. Sorry, guys. Of course, this is the
Hey,
one
you're
day he's not
fine.
asleep. He's supposed to.
You're fine. I have the 2 3-year-olds, and they're quiet right now, but you'll probably hear them in a second. Good luck.
Okay, so are we good with that one?
Yeah.
I guess another one we could maybe add is like Jeanette and Peter need to continue to kind of pull together to bring their entire family together so that it seemed like they were getting kind of closer and closer to that, and they need to continue to be leading their family instead of floundering themselves.
Right.
I don't know, does that make sense? Did that go in there?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where mindfulness skills come in too. If they learn how to deal with the physiological and behavioral effects that come from their stress, they'll be able to change their pattern that has definitely been a family pattern.
Right. Okay, did we get all of that? All right, and then the last one was additional resources you may provide or suggest. Personally, I've seen a lot of death in families, from children to spouses to parents and grandparents, and I'm a firm believer in some type of counseling, whether it's a life coach or just someone to talk to, even if it's just your bishop, but someone with some knowledge and counsel. I think ongoing therapy is so important.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I put the
Especially
same
because
thing.
it's the second one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, my husband, his brother actually passed away not too long ago. And for their family, I think having other people to relate to that have been through similar experiences is a really helpful source for them, because they were able to talk with other people that who have lost a child and stuff like that. So maybe just having a resource of someone who's gone through something similar as they did.
Right.
So a support group, that's good. Yeah.
Well, don't they say like most marriages who have children die, like those marriages don't survive?
Yeah.
Say that again.
Most marriages who have a child die don't actually survive. They end in divorce.
It was really hard for them. I think for his family, his parents grew together stronger. But I know, like, it's a stress on them every day. It will never go away, you know. So
I think part of it is we have just a different perspective, you know, like with the gospel. We're so blessed to have that.
Yeah. Which is why I think when you get a therapist, or some type of life coach or whomever, it's important to get someone who is at least, I don't know that they have to be
Aware.
a member of the church, but that they have to be a Christian and have some of those morals and values
Yeah.
as well.
Hold on, ladies. I'm gonna remove him. And I'm sure he'll make his way back over here in about 10 minutes.
Okay, so Haley, is that enough to work with, Haley? Or do you need more stuff added?
I think so. If I can go through and add stuff if we need, like, if we're worried about word count. So I can go through and do that, but I just want to make sure that everyone has put in what they want. If there's, like, something that we haven't added yet that they really liked or whatever. So I'm not going to turn this in until, when is it due? Saturday?
Saturday.
Okay, so this will be available for everyone to edit until then. And I will email everyone probably a couple hours before I turn it in, or maybe the night before, just in case there's any last edits, or if you think of something and you want to go add it, then that's fine. I probably won't work on it anymore today. I have homework and I need to get ready and make myself look presentable so I can go to work.
I'm with you there. I'm with you there.
You guys should just be happy. I put on mascara for you.
I feel so honored. I didn't do that, so I'm sorry.
I was going to say I didn't do it either. So.
Hey, I'm here.
Yeah, really.
Among all the other things.
Okay, so just in case we all meet together again, I do have everybody's emails as well. So
Super.
whatever
Sounds
happens.
good.
Awesome. Thank you.
Well, thanks everybody for coming. Thanks, Haley, for doing this for us. Too.
Yeah, for sure.
I just wanted to say it's nice to meet you all. So,
Yeah, it is.
thank you.
I actually love the group work because it kind of, I don't know, feels like a real class.
Yeah.
Humanizes the class a little
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
bit. Okay, thanks everybody.
Thank you. Good luck.